Morning, Fabian. Just start with some team news. First of all, Yasin Ayari, how's he getting on at the moment?
He trained yesterday, so hopefully he reacts fine to the first training session, and then we have another one today, and then I'm quite confident that he will be an option for tomorrow.
Anything else to update us on since the Forest game?
No, nothing new, nothing big. Some small issues. So we have to test the players today. We have to get them feeling who's 100% fit for tomorrow. But there are no new big injury concerns.
Had the news about Danny Welbeck signing his contract extension. Just how good of a footballer is he? And how long do you think he can keep going for at this level?
I think I had this similar question to James in the last press conference. I really don't know. I think everything's possible with these types of characters. They're getting better and better. It seems to be the older they get. So especially for Danny, I think the last 2 seasons he scored more than 10 goals, so 10 or more goals in the Premier League. And I think he was never able to do this before. It's because he's playing more minutes, and therefore it's because he just has a unbelievable good fitness, and we have a really, really good medical department. So they work together quite closely, and therefore with these types of characters, everything is possible. They are top professional. They are leaders on and off the pitch. They are great role models for all the young players. So let's see what is possible with them. But overall, we're very happy that he's in our team, not only as a great football player, especially as a great person. He's a great connector, and I think every coach would be happy to have a player like him in the team.
An England player at the end of the month, that would cap off a great season for him, wouldn't it, if he managed to get in the squad?
Definitely, but I think another German has to make the decision about that. I just can say that it's definitely a very important player for us, and I think he is a value for every team, especially when it comes to World Cup, where it's about togetherness, where it's about being a group. He's just a great connector, and I think he would definitely deserve it to be there. But in the end, they'll make the decisions.
It's Arsenal next. There's been a lot of talk about how strong they are from set pieces. But do you have to put more time as a coach, as a coaching staff, into looking at that area specifically for them, just because they've scored so many this season? Is it heightened when you play a team like that?
I think it's not to put more time into it. So overall, it's the same like in open play, like stick to your principles. We have a way to defend corners, we have a way to defend throw-ins, we have a way to defend free kicks, and it's very important that you stick to it, that you keep working on your principles, because you can always improve these kind of principles. If you always try to jump one thing to another thing, then the players always have to adapt, and they never get really like this deep thinking of our principles. So therefore, it's definitely a big strength from Arsenal. They do it in an impressive way this season. They have a lot of good takers, a lot of physicality, a lot of good blocks. So it's definitely something what we have to take care of. But we will stick to our principles. We have a big belief how we defend our corners, our free kicks. We do it well. Of course, there are always some improvements we can do, but overall, we will have a big belief into our setup, into our players, and we are convinced that we can defend it.
From a mental point of view, Arsenal are going for the league. They've slipped up it in recent weeks. Obviously, they've got the 2 wins recently. But can you use any of that to your advantage? The situation they're in, does that kind of come into your thinking at all? How could you make the game nervous for them? Does that play into your thinking at all, Fabian?
No, I don't think that they will get nervous or anything else, because they're all top professionals. They have world-class players. They have definitely the best squad in the league. So overall, it's more like to have the belief in our quality, and we know what they're capable of doing against big and top teams. We proved it this season. We had two very good performances away at Brentford, at home against Nottingham, and now we're also ready for this challenge. We know that it will be definitely a big challenge against the best team in the league, but we have also big belief into our quality. We know what is our strengths. We know that we definitely need to have respect before Arsenal, but we also go with a big confidence into this game and try to go there into our stadium tomorrow and win this game.
It's finally for me. It's been an unchanged team the last 2 games. I think it's only happened for you once this season in the Premier League. Do you feel like you've found a formula at the moment that really works, and is that why you're sticking with it?
Yeah, connections always helps on the pitch, and to have like a stable starting 11 always helps. And therefore, unfortunately, we only could do it once in this season, and we won't do it tomorrow. So that's what I can say, because 1 or 2 players might not be recovered for the game tomorrow, and we need fresh legs. We need players who can run a lot. We need players who can bring an energy on the pitch, because I think that's the main thing for tomorrow. We will go there in this game, and we want to fight. We want to work hard. We want to win personal duels. We want to be maybe also a little bit dirty in the duels, and I think that's important, because we want to bring energy to our crowd. We want to bring like the supporters immediately behind us, and you only get this if you play intense, if you press high, if you play with courage in possession, if you attack the box. So we don't want to play with fear. We don't want to play with too much respect. We want to stick to our principles and try to get all the supporters, the whole stadium behind us, and then we try to go for it.
Thanks, Fabian.
Hi, Fabian. You mentioned just then a couple of players might need some more time to recover. Would one of those maybe be Danny Welbeck?
Yeah, I think he might be an option to rotate, yes, but also it's more regarding James Milner. I think he had now 2 really good performances. He invested a lot, and therefore in this position we might do a change and give him more time to recover. But overall, he proved it again what he's capable of doing in his age, and that's very important for me, for us, and also for him. And it's now a big competition who gets into the starting 11. We have a big availability, and therefore I'm very pleased how everything's going.
It's 100 days to go until the World Cup. Do you think that was in Danny's mind slightly when deciding his future beyond June?
I think it's definitely in every player's mind who has a chance to go to a World Cup. I think that's always the biggest dream of every player, and especially when you play a season like Danny played last season like Danny plays at the moment, then of course there's always hope. There's always a little bit thinking about that, because I know how Danny wants to represent his country, how Danny loves his country, how Danny loves to play for England, and therefore I hope that he achieves this dream. I hope that he can get there. We try to make it possible together with him, but like I just mentioned, he needs to focus on the things he can control. Others make the decision. Others choose if he will be in the squad or not. He can only control his performances. He can only try to be the best Danny Welbeck he can be, and at the moment he seems to be the best Danny Welbeck he can be, and the rest he can't influence.
You mentioned that another German makes those decisions. Do you speak to Thomas Tuchel much? Has he visited you here?
I think he's quite busy, so we are in touch, and I know that if I have questions, need an advice, need a talk, he always will be available. But I think as an England head coach preparing for a World Cup, he seems to be very busy, and therefore he wasn't able to visit our training ground yet. But I know that he watches our games, so I think he needs to watch a lot of games, and therefore he's in preparation modus, and there I don't want to disturb him.
Arsenal, as mentioned, score a lot of their goals from set pieces. Earlier in the season you said that they were match winning and game changers. Why do you think there's this kind of negative spin on set pieces now?
I think because it disturbs the rhythm of the game, and there are no clear rules anymore. How much time you can spend for a corner, how much time you can spend for a throw-in. Some of the blockings or the way teams are blocking, I think that there's no clear rule, that sometimes the referee whistles and it's a foul, sometimes he doesn't foul or doesn't whistle. So I think that's why we have this topic at the moment. But for me, the main topic is make a clear rule how much time you can waste for a corner, for a throw-in, for a free kick, because I think no one recognizes it, but when Arsenal has a corner and they are leading, sometimes they spend over 1 minute just to take a corner, and therefore I think we just have to make like clear rules, because then in the end we have a netto game time of 50 minutes instead of sometimes 65 minutes. So the game is changing so much if you don't have a netto game time for all the games. I just mentioned it. We analyze it, and the difference is just massively. And I have the opinion that every supporter who pays a lot of money to going into the stadiums and watching our games should see the same netto game time, because they pay a lot of money. They want to see a football event, and they don't want to see maybe 50 minutes the game is the ball is in the game, and 40 minutes the game is not running. And therefore that's how I see it. But I think we won't change these rules or these kind of rules immediately. So we know how important set pieces are. We know how important that they can be like game changer. That's always what I mentioned. So we have to use it as well. We have to be very efficient in scoring goals. We have to be more efficient in creating chances after corners and free kicks, and always try to defend them well, because at the moment it's a big trend in the league, and we definitely need to adapt and adjust to it.
When Arsenal drop points this season, it's usually when they're playing away. Does that give you a bit more confidence for the game?
I think I just mentioned that we have always the confidence to win a Premier League game. We know we have to like set the standards very high. We know we have to push our limits to tomorrow, because we face the best team in the league. We know what they're capable of doing. We know that in every phase they are top. They defend well as a team. They have a really good style of play, an open play in possession. They're good in set pieces. They have the quality to make good transition moments. So I think they are the full package of a top team. So we know we have to reach our highest limits, but together with our fans, like I just mentioned, we can create an energy. We can create something where we are capable of beating them, and that's our responsibility, to get into this kind of flow and try to make it happen.
And just finally, you've won a league title as a manager. Obviously, Mikel Arteta is trying to do that with Arsenal, not in terms of advice for him, but in the final few stages and weeks of a season. What does it take to get that over the line?
I think I'm not in a place to give Arteta advices how to win a title. He's maybe the best together with Pep Guardiola, the best manager in the league, one of the best managers in the world. So I'm sure he exactly knows what he's doing to win a title this season. And I was in a different place. It was a second division in Germany. But what I know is that definitely the mind plays a big part in these kind of weeks, because the mind, and that's something what we, I think, underestimate. We always see the player, but we never see like the doubts, the fears, the thoughts they have in their mind. So when I was in this situation with my team, I think we worked a lot about getting the mind into the right place, getting the players into the right mood before the game, getting the right understanding why we play football. So that's how we dealt with it. But overall, I think Arteta will find good solutions. Hopefully not tomorrow, but like I just mentioned, he seems to be on the right way, and let's see what happens.
Hi Fabian. Yankuba Minte hasn't started a game this calendar year. What more do you kind of need to see from him, do you think, for him to get that opportunity?
I think I just mentioned it's about competition at the moment. A lot of players available. Diego Gomez is doing it really well on the right side. He's scoring goals. He's attacking the box. And that's what I demand from the wingers, to create chances, to be alive at the second post, to defend together with your teammates. And we know that Yankuba Minte already proved it this season. We know that he can be a very important part for us. He has an element we don't have again in our squad. He has a physicality that is outstanding. But now it's about him to accept the situation like it is, to get an understanding what he needs to do to get back. And therefore we are in exchange with him. We show the players who are not starting at the moment what they need to do to get back. And most of the times it's quite simple. It's hard work. It's showing it in every training session. It's showing it no matter how many game minutes you become, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 20 minutes, to show that I want to get back in the team. It was the wrong decision from you, Gaffer, to put me on the bench, and I think that's the attitude the players need to have. But overall, it's more like they have to take no responsibility. They have to accept the situation like it is and try to get out of it together with our help.
At the moment, you mentioned about your availability being better, and particularly in those attacking wide areas and the number 10 where you've got a lot of options at the moment. So are those conversations showing them how to get back in the team? Are they more regular at the moment with those players not in the starting 11?
Yeah, I think we can emphasize now, especially with the last performances, what a winger needs to do, what we demand from a winger, and then you can show to every player who's an option to play winger. That's what I need from you. That's how you can help the team. These are the principles you need to stick to, and that's how you need to work for the team. And if you're doing this, then you can play for this team. If you're not capable of doing this at the moment, then it's difficult for you to get game minutes. And therefore, good performances always help. We try to emphasize with really good scenes, especially from the last performances. For example, Diego Gomez scoring a goal. Why is he scoring a goal? Karumi Toma created more chances. Why is he creating more chances? So to really emphasize the positive actions and to figure out why they're in the situations. How can we help the other players to get into these kind of situations? So it's really sometimes in a group unit meeting where we show every player, these are the demands we have to you, and now everyone has to take ownership to get back to his shape. And on the other side, it's also about mental support, because some of the players, they weren't often in these kind of situations. They're young players coming from a different culture, so I know that it's not easy to be on the bench and to not play. So we have to be there for them. It needs to be a good mix between caring and challenging now the players, and that's what we try to do. And then I'm sure that every player who's sitting now on the bench, Yankuba Minte, Jorginho Ruta, we know what they're capable of doing. We know their quality, that they will be a big part in the final part of the season for us.
And just finally from me, you've got, I think, 4 out of the top 6 to play at home in your final 5 home games. How much do you relish that, knowing some of the records you've had against those teams previously?
We know every game is opportunity, and no matter against who we play, we have to reach our highest limits, especially against the top teams. You need to be very good in the small margins, because the small margins will make a big difference in these type of games. We always have the belief, we always have the quality to beat these teams, especially together with our supporters at home. We can create a good energy, and that's what we try to do in all these kind of games.